Hey everyone, and welcome back to Travel Whiskers. Do you daydream about soaking in your own private onsen hot spring? Well, today I'm taking you to a hidden gem called Fukumitsu Hanayama Onsen. It's a little gem of a place hidden in Toyama. Yes, the very same Toyama that was listed on the New York Times Best Places to Visit in 2025. This place is an absolute paradise for anyone looking to relax and recharge. Imagine this. You're unwinding in a traditional Japanese Ryokan, surrounded by the peaceful Japanese countryside. This onsen is popular especially among the local female residents, because the meals are absolutely divine. Kaiseki cuisine is the name of the traditional Japanese course available only at Japanese onsen ryokans. They serve seasonal dishes, which means no two experiences are the same. Here, we also got the bonus Wagyu option. So there's a lot of mouth-watering clips to show you in this video today. And what's more, you get your own private onsen hot spring right in your room. That's right. If you feel a little bit shy to bathe with other fellow travelers, you can enjoy the famous onsen experience right there in your room. Tell me that's not something that's appealing to many foreign travelers looking for an onsen experience. We drove, and Fukumitsu Hanayama Onsen is 10 to 15 minutes from either the Fukumitsu interchange or the Oyabe interchange.
その先、目的地周辺です。目的地周辺です。音声案内を終了します。目的地は左側にあります。
Alternatively, you can take the train. The nearest station is Fukumitsu Station. The hotel shuttle bus can pick you up there, and it'll be an 8-minute ride. You can also take a bullet train to Kanazawa Station, and the hotel can also pick you up there. It'd be a longer ride from Kanazawa Station to the hotel, however. And since Japan is living in the future, there are electric vehicle chargers for those of you who have electric cars. Fukumitsu Hanayama Onsen is the kind of place true travelers would savor. Quiet, unpretentious, tucked deep in real Japan. Landscapes that calm the soul. Steam rising from soaking tubs, the earthy smell of mineral water, and seasonal food done right. A reminder that comfort, beauty, and honesty still exist far from the noise. Check out the self-service drinking bar. There's beer, coffee, oolong tea, apple juice, orange juice, and water. It's all you can drink from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, you heard that right. Unlimited beer. I'll say that again. Free beer from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that's not all. In front of the communal onsen baths, there's ice lollies, milk, and a kind of sweet fermented rice drink that has no alcohol. It's more like a dessert. I'll show you later when we pass by the onsen area. Before you go on up to your room, check out the yukata area next to the lounge. Take one on your way up. The colorful sets of yukata are for women. Men choose from the plain-colored yukata on the side of the wall. Remember to grab a belt or obi as well. And in case you forget which side goes over which side, generally, if you are right-handed, make sure you can reach into the yukata with your right hand. And it's the opposite for left-handers. Finally, there are sets of yukata for children, and big and tall men and women at the corner as well. I also got a low pillow for myself, because I prefer low pillows rather than high pillows. This is the communal onsen baths on the first floor. Guests who book rooms without onsens in the room come here. But I'll show you our onsen in the room a little later. In front of the communal onsen baths, you'll see a rest area serving the sweet fermented rice drink, milk and ice lollies. You can only take one ice lolly, however. Okay, let's go check out the rooms. The rooms on the first floor and fifth floor have onsens in the room. The rooms on the third and fourth floors don't. We got a room on the fifth floor because we wanted a view as well. Having a view really changes the mood, don't you think? Just look at how awesome the sky is today. This is our room. A modern Japanese room with an open-air private onsen. Let's check it out. Inside the closet is the haori, the jacket you wear on top of your yukata. I like the closet space at the entrance, so that you can stow away your luggage and just enjoy the room without your bags and clothes sprawled out everywhere. Take these baskets to the communal onsen area if you go. Put your towels and valuables in here. The sink area is pretty huge, and you get plenty of amenities. I like places where you have a few different kinds of lotions to try out. I'm just not sure about the copper sink. It seemed a little out of sync with the rest of the decor for me. But then again, not a huge complaint. And everyone loves a Japanese toilet, complete with warm water bidet and everything. Here is the pantry. You have complimentary tea bags, a hot water maker, and glasses in case you brought your own drinks. They give you a complimentary 2-liter bottle of water. And here is the main area. The table and chairs are on the floor, but the tables and chairs of the first floor rooms have legs, however. Just so you know. The beds are low beds, kind of like the ones I saw in Korea. They are actually futons but put on a raised wooden frame. This room can sleep 2 or 3 people. On the table are some complimentary Japanese shrimp crackers, meant to be eaten with the green tea that you make from the pantry upon your arrival. And this is your private onsen. It's basically sealed off from the room, so that moisture doesn't get into the room. And this is actually a balcony, but you can close off the balcony windows, which may be prudent at night. The water here is from a natural sodium chloride spring water source, with low tonicity, weak alkaline, and high temperature of about 44 degrees Celsius. The water is said to be good for stiff joints, muscle tiredness, and smooth skin. And don't worry if you are shy about family members peeking at you as you bathe. There are curtains and blinds you can draw in order to close off the area from prying eyes. After a quick dip upon arrival, now let's go on to the much anticipated Kaiseki course dinner featuring Wagyu beef. The first order of things is to order drinks. There are some nice local rice wines and beers offered. We didn't know what to get, so we got a rice wine tasting set offering the elegant, clean, and refined Musubizumi, the rustic, earthy, and robust Sanshiraku, and the bold, deep, and rich Yukaya, which are all Toyama brewed rice wine. We liked the Sanshiraku and got a whole big flask of it to share. Alcohol is additional pricing, of course. Here is the course menu. We start healthy with a green smoothie. On the left is a half-seared yellowtail served with sesame tofu in a turnip slurry and topped with radish foam. Yellowtail is prized more than tuna in Toyama. On the assorted appetizer plate in the bowl is koji pickled sweet shrimp. Koji is an important fermentation that provides umami in Japanese cuisine. There's pickled cauliflower, ginkgo nuts, deep-fried sweet potato, deep-fried lotus root, willow mushroom, deep-fried half-beak with caviar, stewed duck, deep-fried pumpkin, and yam tubers. Next came the crab rice, followed by the tilefish steamed in rice wine. They were generous with the fish. This was subtle, delicate, and exquisite. And with almost all Kaiseki cuisines, there's sashimi. Here we have tuna maguro, sweet shrimp ama-ebi, firefly squid hotaru ika, sea bream madai, and grouper namera. I usually add a sliver of wasabi and just a little dip of soy sauce. But for the firefly squid hotaru ika, I like to pair it with minced ginger. My favorites are the white flesh fish like sea bream madai and grouper namera. The red water sprouts are for palate cleansing or eaten with sashimi for a subtle spicy kick. Now we have the first of 2 Wagyu beef dishes for dinner. This is roast beef salad on a bed of cheesy mashed potatoes, but as you can see, it's more like a beef steak salad. It was served with a really tasty lemon dressing for the salad. The first bite should be just the beef with a little salt only. Then you can try the beef with the various sauces or wasabi on the dish. The green sauce is spinach puree, and the white sauce is a Japanese lime-flavored ponzu sauce. And can you believe that all this is just for one person? And it's just still one of 2 beef dishes in addition to all the other dishes served throughout the course. If I were to be a little honest, I think this Wagyu beef was a little tougher than I had imagined. I think that's because melt-in-your-mouth Wagyu beef is better served as a steak, or like the next course, which we shall see in a minute. The next course is Wagyu beef shabu shabu. Shabu shabu is basically Japanese-style hot pot. You cook thinly sliced meats in a lightly flavored broth with some vegetables. Today, we have a kelp and plum broth. After the broth has stewed for a little while, I usually throw in the rest of the vegetables to add flavor to the broth. Then we start cooking the Wagyu slices one by one. Just look at that marbling. There are 3 sauces in which to dip the beef. First, there's ponzu sauce. Then there's salt ponzu sauce. And the last is a sesame sauce. I just added spicy chili to my 2 ponzu sauces. Now, you see us putting in the plum into the water. The kelp was already in the pot. After that, we added some vegetables before cooking the meat. It's called shabu shabu because shabu shabu is the onomatopoeia for something swishing in water. You're supposed to say shabu shabu slowly, and that is the approximate cook time for your slice of beef. But of course, you decide how pink you want your beef. They gave us these amazing pickles to go with our rice. At the self-service long tables, there were 3 kinds of miso soups that you can take freely. The first is crab miso soup. I definitely got a bowl of this since it was snow crab season, which starts around November. The second option was the red miso soup. Red miso is quite popular in the Aichi region of Nagoya and has a deeper, richer umami taste. I also got a bowl of the red miso soup. It's amazing how one miso soup can taste so different from another. Finally, the third option is a fishbone miso soup. Unfortunately, I was too stuffed to try that one. And finally, dessert was a house-made apple sorbet and panna cotta. The apple sorbet was so yummy. You can even see some apple skin in the sorbet. And there is an all-you-can-drink drink bar serving hot roasted green tea, coffee, tea packs, oolong tea, apple juice, orange juice and water. Also, out at the lounge on the first floor, there are cards and Othello free to use, in case you want to spend some time playing some games with your family or friends. And just in case you didn't have enough to eat in that massive feast, a free meal is served from 9 p.m. This is rice served in hot tea. It is available until that tub of rice is all gone. First, you scoop some rice into a bowl. Second, you choose sour plum or wasabi to be the main flavor. Third, you add hot tea into the bowl. Finally, add toppings into your bowl of rice as you like. There was this Kotani ware on display in the lobby. Kotani ware is a famous style of porcelain from neighboring Ishikawa, and I will be doing another video all about that soon, so keep an eye out for it. Just before turning in for the night, I decided on one last soak. The kind of impulsive late-hour choice you make when the sense of being far from everything soften your edges. I slipped back into the mineral heat, letting the water whisper its own ancient stories. It was a small, private moment at the end of a long day, simple, perfect, and exactly what I didn't know I needed. Morning hits different in the countryside. The sun spills onto the balcony, turning the onsen tub into something else entirely less of a bath and more of an invitation. Last night it was all shadows and steam. Now the countryside is laid bare in front of us. The trees, the mountains, the rice fields, waking up with the light. The countryside stretches in a quiet, almost defiant kind of beauty. I can't help but envy the people who get to wake up to this living painting every day. With that thought, I ease myself into the water, the minerals wrapping around me like a slow, deliberate embrace. After a night spent snug and sandwiched between the futons in the winter chill, the heat sinks into my flesh and bones. Out here, the world doesn't rush you. It just whispers, "Stay a little longer." Time for breakfast, and get ready for another feast of a meal. As soon as we sat down, fire was lit up to heat the tofu and vegetables and soy milk broth. There was not one but 2 little personal stoves or konro. The second for steamed Wagyu beef. Yes, this is also part of the special Wagyu order. We felt we got our money's worth with all this Wagyu. with 2 little stoves per person, and the fair, incredible spread just made us feel like pampered royalty. We knew we were in for a luxurious breakfast once we saw this table. Secretly, I wish we could eat like this every single day. We start off with a vegetable and soy smoothie. It's a healthy start to the day. And if you want to know what these dishes are, a personal menu is always printed out and provided for you. In front are 2 common Japanese side dishes. One is tofu with karashi mustard and bonito flakes, and the other is boiled mustard spinach with fried tofu skins. This was one of the highlights of breakfast. It's like a sashimi cocktail with raw fish, sweet shrimp, salmon roe, avocado and cucumber. It tastes like Hawaiian poke. You can eat it as is, or the recommendation is to pour it over a bed of rice, which I recommend as well. The famous Japanese layered omelette called an omelette roll or tamagoyaki was fluffy and silky. Grilled buri or yellowtail is a common delicacy in these parts. Winter is the best season for yellowtail when it's fatty and rich. The Wagyu beef is steamed and ready to eat. I might have overcooked it a little though, but it was still good. The vegetable and tofu in soy milk broth was hearty yet light. The broth tasted really good, having soaked up all the flavors. And finally, we ended with some creamy matcha green tea pudding. There were pickles served in the morning as well. And there was shaved kelp miso soup, which you can take as much as you like. Kelp is a delicacy in Toyama, and there are actually different kinds. It adds texture and a subtle seaweed taste to your miso soup. And don't forget to try Japan's favorite probiotic yogurt drink. It's called Yakult. Actually, that's the company name, which is also the name of the drink. You can only take one, unfortunately. The bill came out to just shy of $300 in today's rate with the cheap yen. Yes, it's actually a great time to visit Japan. Go while the yen is still weak. They gave us 3 parting gifts. First is Toyama's famous Masina sushi, or trout sushi. It's a kind of asuno sushi, or pressed sushi. There was an air freshener and some candies as well. I'm telling you, with the room with a private onsen, the Wagyu dinner and breakfast, and now the trout sushi, we've definitely got our money's worth. We skipped lunch after this big breakfast, and had the trout sushi for dinner. And boy was it delicious. The trout sashimi was pretty thick and meaty. Cheaper ones are thinly cut, but the amount of fish here was pretty generous. Did you know some 70% of all baseball bats in Japan was made in this little town? In the next video, we will explain why this town, Fukumitsu, is the home to baseball bats in Japan. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more from Travel Whiskers. Thanks for watching.